Okay,
Good.
I believe so. Everything says it's recording. I don't know what that's doing, but yes, it says I'm recording. So I think I'm good to go.
Alrighty. It's 7 o'clock. Go ahead and get started on this meeting for the Village of Canton Zoning Board of Appeals. My name is Conrad Stunson, the chair here. We have two appeals on the docket tonight. We're going to start with an appeal for 4 Commerce Lane, and then we'll go into 80 Riverside Drive. The general flow for an appeal is normally what happens is we ask the code enforcement officer, Tim, to talk about what came before him and how he turned it down. That's basically Tim's role, just what I denied. Okay. And then we go to the applicant and they try to convince us why what they're appealing it should be granted. Okay. Which is fair. And then the zoning board of appeals at that point, like we ask you guys questions in terms of you're an applicant, we ask like clarification questions, we have a conversation with you about what's going on, right? And then we have to go through 5 legal tests for an area variance. There's a state mandated 5 tests that we have to cover for the area variance. Mostly the applicant has an opportunity to pregame this and send us their answers already, which is great. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, you get another one? Great. We'll roll through that. And then we talk about those 5 tests and we discuss the area variance and we go from there. And then the board has like, I think it's 5 business days to we normally vote that day. We have 5 business days to provide a written decision on the appeal itself. And that's normally the applicant works in conjunction with Tim, code enforcement officer, for any further work or clarification or anything like that. Okay. Cool. Any general questions about the process? You good? Okay. For those of you that are hanging around for the second appeal process, feel free to watch the sausage being made. That's great. Or feel free to step out and take a walk and sit outside in the sunshine and come back in. I'm totally flexible for whatever you want to do. And if you go outside in the sunshine and disappear, that's okay too. Okay. So, all right. Let's roll from here. I would like to introduce everyone at the table just real fast. You can introduce yourself just so you guys can put faces with names. I'm Conrad Stuntz. I'm the chair of the Zoning Board of Appeals.
Michael Snow, Andy Whittier, Tim Nolan, Village of Canton Code Enforcement, Pete Beekman.
Great. All righty. All right. So first up, we have the application variance for 4 Commerce Lane, which is in a nutshell an expansion of a parking lot. Tim, you want to talk to us about what the application is and things like that?
Yes, denied the permit for expansion of parking lot at Community Health Center, the North Country, at 4 Commerce Lane, 3/17/26 is when the permit application was submitted. The denial was, there we go. I had it there. Oh, wrong one. Here we go. Denial was 3/27/26. And the reason for the denial was zoning 325, Village of Canton, Schedule B. It was in violation, it was non-conformance of lot of Schedule B lot development standards. Maximum impervious surface was 35% in a general mixed use zoning district.
Great. Fabulous. All right. So too much impervious surface. Good. What would you guys like to address? Why we should go for this? Okay. What do you got?
Yeah, here's my answers that you can have as well.
That'd be great. Thanks, Brooks.
And let me go through this. This is a different kind of appeal. When we do these periodically all over the place. And it's based on, side yards or, we got a 3-foot pipe variance and pipe tank for the hospital and things like that. This is a very different one, and I'll tell you why. General point and specific thing. This is the area, and I got all my, and you guys know this. Let me grab all my notes.
Sure. Yeah. Are you comfortable over here? Is this a good spot for you, Brooks?
Yeah, if you don't mind. is
I don't
it-
mind. I'm okay with it.
Because
Are you okay with
I
them behind
brought the old.
Yeah, I'm fine.
Okay.
The old,
Yeah, just come over and have a look.
zoning.
Oh, an old zoning.
Well, and that's part of the whole interesting situation here.
Uh-huh.
Because that's what's happened. The zoning has changed. The building is not. So presently, it's in now this general municipal.
General mixed use.
General, yeah,
Mhm.
General
So-
mixed use.
general mixed use.
Mhm.
Which interestingly also includes the housing next to it.
Yep.
Normally there would be residential and there would be commercial or something like that. The old code had the C3. C3 use and then has residential things like that. So that was the first thing that was kind of interesting to notice. Because often residential has a different kind of yardstick to measure, you know, what you do in that district than commercial. This is for Commerce Lane. And it's been this way for, 20, 30 years. We've done a few of these buildings, many of them were here before we added on to them. In one sentence, the odd thing about this general mixed use zone is a 35% impervious area. And I'm LEED certified, sustainability is number one on my list. That is not sustainable to have 2/3 of a commercial mixed use area be green. Because density is at the root of sustainability. High density, suburbia is wrecking, all kinds of things. So the other thing is, and it's all explained in more detail in there, but I can give you the overview here and then we can talk in detail.
Yeah.
CP bought this building, the original 1984 building in the early 1990s. In 2000, we put this addition on and put this parking lot here, along with, we put this building in here and we worked on this building and things like that. This has been a very busy part of Canton for decades with the kinds of business hour and business day activities that are here, medical services and Department of Health and things like that. Seems to work fine. The traffic here, traffic seems to work fine. I'm not aware of any problems there. In 2012, which is we did a drawing as part of what used to be cerebral palsies, continuing growth in the medical care industry. This is a 2012 drawing, 14 years ago. We had been planning their growth, including adding on the parking lot. This drawing is 14 years old. It did not break any rules at the time because in that C3 zone, there was a 65% coverage limit. No, there was no coverage limit. There was zero coverage.
There wasn't a
Zero coverage limit. Some other similar zones, like in Potsdam, the B1 is 65%.
Yeah.
We just got a variance in Plattsburgh for a church that was in a R2 zone, but it was all apartments.
Mhm.
And the choice was, let us expand a little bit with some parking in a sanctuary, or they're going to move out of town.
Mhm.
And see, that's kind of what we don't want to happen to the villages, is businesses moving out of town so they can grow.
Mhm.
CP is a solid business, they're growing. And this is part of their growth to add a little parking, but I just wanted to show the board that this isn't a new idea that they just cooked up. This has been in their master planning thinking for this long. They have options, but you don't want them to take those options. You don't want them to move jobs to Malone or Ogdensburg or Governor if they can, as they want to, keep them in Canton. The other thing, this is a corner lot. Even in the new code, there's no step back on the corner lots in this zone. And parking is permitted in, fronts and sides and things. This particular corner lot, is this the front? I guess, who knows? It's arbitrary on these corner lots, what's front and what's side. We already, in the existing plan, we have the landscape berm here, we have the mature trees here. We have the EV chargers here. I mean, it's a very compatible parking area in.
But for that 2012 one showing, right?
Yes.
And you're 26, you dropped the EV charger, is that right?
No, they still have it.
Okay.
They always look to the current drawing.
Okay, thank you.
This is the present drawing,
Mhm.
which is basically the same one. We've added information on the number of spaces, the coverage information.
Uh-huh.
The present coverage is about 62%, and it would go to 70, adding these spaces.
Right.
Separate from the request to add parking, the health center would like to put these little green strips in this existing parking lot just to make it a little prettier. But that's unrelated to this zoning request. I've shown in green here where there is lawn, it would be lawn, the berm would still be here, the mature trees would still be here. One very important point to note is, because I know one of the big issues with impervious services is storm runoff. We do it all the time. DOT compliments us because we usually, when we develop a site, reduce the amount of flow that goes into public ditches and things like that. There's calculations that I can show you. It's in the application. We have not added this runoff from this impervious area into the ditch that's here. We're grading this so that there's retention areas for that added runoff. So there'd be no change in the runoff, because I know that's one of the big deals with impervious area. And I'm on both sides of the argument here. It's hard. So the basic, there's a lot of other little things in that new code, which are, I don't know if they apply to this because it's an existing lot that's just being expanded. But basically, it's that simple. They would like to add the 32 spaces to the existing business to let the business grow. Keep the berm, which is a requirement, which we already have, and keep the trees, which we already have. Do the grading to not increase the impervious area, and the existing site lighting is to remain. It's just moving back to 25 feet, so it's still on the edge of the parking, pointing into the lot the way it does now. There's no neighbor complaints about light. I'm very rigid about light pollution and things like that too. So there's no change to the
Are you
site.
upping the lumens on the light in order to penetrate further into the parking lot? Because you're moving everything back?
No, because there is quite a bit of lighting on the building now that comes out far enough. And this,
So you might add some dimming in the middle of the parking lot just because you've spread out your projection some.
a tiny bit less than there is
Yeah.
now, yes, but not below
Or you're
thresholds
you're
that are
comfortable with
required.
it. Okay.
Yes. Also because it's not an evening
Yeah.
kind of, or an evening business. Now, yes, it gets dark at 4 o'clock in the evening.
Yeah.
But it's not a place that has evening hours, evening clients, things like that. When you get into your review, you can read the comments and ask me questions, but that's kind of the overview.
Okay. Real fast. You're keeping the EV chargers?
Yes, they're right here now. I don't know. We showed them. They're right here.
Oh, they
There's
are?
2 of them right here now, and they're to remain.
Oh, okay. All right. It's in the current plan. They don't show up in the plan, but
Yeah,
they're in the
we can
current
draft
site.
those.
Yeah.
They're there. They are there. They
Yeah.
are to be.
Then you're not gonna take them away. Yeah.
No,
okay.
no, they're used. One of the doctors has a.
Yeah. Okay.
I've got 4 EV chargers in Market Square.
Yeah.
One of them gets used, but anyway,
Yeah.
somebody.
Right. That's what it is. Okay.
That's where we are.
Any questions for Brooks at this point about?
When you say the grading is gonna take the runoff, is there like some retention?
Very subtle, yes.
Okay,
Low spots in the lawn.
okay,
Not those. I don't like those retention ponds that have chain link fences around them and garbage that collects in them
Mhm.
that are big and deep and mosquitoes growing them. We're not dealing with that volume of water.
Mhm.
We're dealing with what's being added, and we do it very subtly in the grass. It fills up with water for a day or two. This is good soil. It percolates.
Mhm.
We have got projects like up along St. Lawrence where the soil doesn't percolate. And it is a problem because it doesn't soak in the ground. Here, we
Okay.
don't have that problem. It soaks in the ground fine after a day if you get a heavy rain or some snow melt before the ground is fully thawed. So there's some low spots along here that will hold that amount of water in that quote unquote 50-year storm. So when I was an adjunct at Clarkson teaching some of these classes, it was funny because we had 3 50-year storms in 4 years.
Right.
So,
Mhm.
And we all know that that's an issue now that wasn't decades ago. You get these cloudbursts. So we've considered that because I do think that's legitimate to consider that. Not,
Great.
that's a big ditch. It runs to the river, but
Trying to keep it out of there.
playing by the rules. We're not adding to it. What is already here is here.
All right. Increasing what, 32 spots? Is that what your application says?
Yes.
Okay.
going from 102 to 134.
Um, Rob, quick question for you. Are you currently mowing the front lawn or are you guys hiring out for that?
We hire it out.
You hired out. Do they encounter any issues with the current soil density or mowing or anything like that? Yeah. And Robert, again, the sign that we approved for you guys 2 years ago, last year, where is that on the site plan?
Right there.
Okay, so it doesn't have to move. Okay, great. All right.
And that's working out well.
Good.
I think. Yeah.
Good question.
Good.
What about water runoff? What about snowplow? Is there a spot to?
We
dump the
don't
snow?
designate areas specifically for snow retention. What happens in the winter is you lose some, like everywhere, you lose some spaces when they pile of
Oh, no,
snow.
right into one of the parking spots.
That's what happens.
Yeah.
There's less parking in the winter. than in
Yeah,
summer.
There is.
Yeah.
They push a little bit onto the grass, but they lose some parking spots in the corners.
We'll
Obviously-
lose maybe 6.
They plow
4
it
to 6.
in the direction that it drains. Down here, they do it, you'll see it in here. So as it melts, it's going in the right direction. They do lose. a
That's
few
something
spots.
I tracked it out too.
Of course it is. All right, so,
Especially this year, right?
and so you're changing, you'll have middle lot berms for plowing.
Well,
These will be flat. We had 3 options for them.
Uh-huh.
No curb, concrete curb, and asphalt curb. The no curb is winning right now
Oh,
that's
okay.
what I want.
Yeah.
You know, for facility
for
standpoint.
2 reasons. It's easier to plow
What's gonna
and
happen
cheaper
if
to
we have
build.
curb in there?
But has a big impact. Right now, if you notice, Rob has, and his team have put some strings across here because in the winter, we all know you can't see the stripes on the parking lot and people are just parking all over the place. So they put the strings up there so that people would still, like cows in a barn, line up across these lines, and that's working. So then everybody got the right idea. Why don't we just make that kind of permanent with these little 4-foot strips so that people will understand where to park and how to line up when you can't see the lines.
Okay.
The other thing that the board can consider is there's a little bit of coverage that we're having to spend for a fairly high number of handicap spots. And this is well above the ADA ratios that are required because of some of the medical services they offer.
That's what you're offering though. I mean,
We have
purpose
to
each
add-
building.
Turns off of these
Yeah.
handicaps, but that burns up some, asphalt.
Fair.
But that's their business.
Great. All right. Any other questions for Brooks right now? We need to sit down. You guys good for now? Thanks, Brooks.
Yeah, thanks.
What the you map? Okay. All right, so thanks, Brooks, for the talk through the map in terms of what we're hoping to do. Kind of back up a second and Rob, can I hear why are we building a bigger parking lot?
We are building a bigger parking lot because we're expanding our services, not only for primary care, but for pediatrics, for children, and we're expanding pediatrics, and we're gonna add a couple medical rooms for primary care too. We're actually adding, 6?
We got a building permit with them right now. We're adding
6.
6 more exam rooms right now,
Like exam rooms, okay.
which translates into 3 more doctors and support staff and the patients that they can serve. It's about 2.5 exam rooms per doctor.
And we're expanding behavioral health services. We're actually only adding, 2 offices there, but
In the existing square footage, we've been packing more into that existing building that's more efficient spatially and more service providing and revenue generating for them.
Okay. How many full day parkers do you have in your current lot? Not your patients, not your in and outs, your ones who are parking there for that 8-10 hour shift or that 6 to 10 hour shift or like whatever they do, like the doctors, the nurses, the ones who come in, take a spot and leave again at the end of the shift.
I'd have to get back the exact number, but we do have our main staff from our CEO, everyone is on the second floor.
Yeah.
So they're all permanent, and there could be 20, 26 to 30.
Canton is the central office.
That's our central location.
Yeah, no, it's busy. It's great.
Runs Malone, Ogdensburg, Illinois.
So downstairs we have a dental, behavioral health, physical therapy. We have, I want to say another 30, probably 30
Downstairs.
downstairs.
All right, so we're looking close to 55 to 60, just full-time,
Good.
daily.
Full-time daily.
So we're only looking at, so for the current stuff, we're looking at 30 to 40 spots, especially in winter time when we have 6 slots covered. Okay,
And we're bringing on two pediatricians,
5+.
2 nurses, LPN, RNs, so
Presently, this parking along that furthest from the building and in the new design is assigned to the staff. The staff have to park out there and
yeah.
Oh, yeah, stuff.
This perimeter, we put this talking about,
parking close to the
this
building.
area now is basically staff.
Yeah.
And we want patients coming in and out, right?
Well, yeah,
You guys want to look at it up close
okay,
and then take note of the existing parking and the new. parking.
yeah, the staff, patient.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pretty close, 48.
Yeah, well done. You came up with 56 off the top of your head, which is not, 40, 80 or 55 or so, yeah. Okay.
We employ 300, over 300 people in our organization.
Yeah.
Throughout St. Louis County.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Cool. Alrighty. And according to the map, guys, we're allowable 35%. So I think we should just say that to cut up all their parking and turn it into grass, have cows. That'll probably solve the problem, right? They're existing 62% and they're proposing up to 70%. All right. I'm great with that. All right. Any other questions, guys? All right. We start talking about our tests, which are glorious. All right. We have 5 tests, and my documentation tells me no area variance will be granted without consideration of the board by the following factors. Did I even send it to you guys, or did I draft the skipper?
I think that's really Brooks is in, because they're already in.
Really?
Thank you.
Yeah. So you're throwing Brooks into things.
I'll try.
You did. You got the application in? That's just moving forward. All right. Test 1 is whether undesirable change will be produced in the character of the neighborhood or a detriment to nearby properties. On the answer from the applicant, shockingly, they say there's no undesirable change in the character of the neighborhood. Okay. Addition 32 spaces, neighborhood's office buildings in the former C3 commercial zone, or now GMU, have been for 5 years. Okay. What do you guys think? What's your feeling on the neighborhood in terms of the general feel of that area?
I don't see much change at all.
It sounds like they've addressed storm runoff. They've talked about lighting. Other undesirable changes would be amount of traffic flow, but it sounds like it's kind of a busy parking lot and it would get slightly busier. Only other impact would be inflow, outflow on Commerce Lane. The addition of, I mean, we're talking, well, now 35 patients a day. I don't think that's going to be noticeable.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay. Andy, anything on undesirable change?
Looking overview, and many of the businesses in that same neighborhood are well over the current zoning.
Yeah. Do they back up right to Law Lane right there, or is there a house right on the edge of their parcel?
There's a house. There's a house between Law Lane and this property.
Okay, thanks.
I was really looking at Dairy Queen and the bakery and Stewart's, those kinds of things that are 100%.
Oh yeah, they're impervious. Thanks, Bert. Yeah. I was wondering about that one, yeah, but I couldn't remember, I couldn't place that.
That's seniors.
That's seniors, okay.
That's really well.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
That's always all fell under the old.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, they're all built.
But in terms of changing the nature of the neighborhood.
You're talking about the houses across the street.
No, I was trying to place a couple of the houses along that side of the street.
Thinking about building up there.
Yeah, I want to, is there
Empty lots.
any infill lots for me? Yeah. Oh,
There is one that's the,
yeah, I'm sure there is. You would know. All right. Benefits sought by the applicant can be achieved by a feasible alternative to variance. Okay, the benefits sought. The applicant says there's no other reasonable option. The growth of medical centers is a positive feature of the community, and adequate parking is necessary for the staff and patients. No adjacent lands are available for expansion, and multi-level parking is an unreasonable option. Okay, I didn't even thought about multi-level parking. Do we have any multi-level parking here in Canton?
multi-level?
Yeah,
I don't think so.
I can't think of anything in the village. Nothing at the
Only
university.
parking garage I can think
Yeah,
of
down
is.
here in the corner.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
But I
yeah.
don't think that's multi-level.
It's a single level.
It's all single level.
They talk about it.
Yeah.
So.
There's apartments above.
Yeah, parking parking,
Yeah.
and it's basement parking. Okay, all right, great. That was a good rabbit hole. Feasible alternative. Okay, so if the benefit is adding a bunch more parking spots, what about abutting properties? If it's all staff parking, is there options for using staff parking at other sites that would allow for rental spaces, opposed to putting 180K into and covering up the lot size? Rob, this building back here, do you know what this one is? Right behind health,
What's that?
that building there.
Yeah,
What's this one? You know, that's health department. Brooks, is the health department, and behind them was,
I don't know what building that is.
That's One Commerce Lane.
and what do you have up there, Tim?
Isn't that CDP?
Is that CDP?
Yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
okay, CDP, you're right, yeah.
Okay,
That's our building.
yeah, okay.
As somebody who used to deliver up in there a lot,
Mm-hmm.
pretty congested in there, not, I wouldn't know where they would go unless they were way up to the other end, past the jail, because
Right.
from ARC back to where they are,
That's
so
too far.
just getting in there, find a spot to
Yeah.
deliver, that you weren't blocking somebody in and stuff during the day,
Right.
so.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't see where they really have an alternative,
Mm-hmm.
you know, without
Mm-hmm.
running a shuttle bus to take them to work.
Right. And a shuttle bus gets into the issues. No one wants to be on a shuttle in off-site parking. I mean, if we're talking about parking, what are the options, right? Multi-level, which we're not gonna put a
Yeah.
multi-level parking garage in. That makes no sense. Sorry, we have too much land here in the village to talk about multi-level parking for its cost and exposure. The other options are other sites like close by for shared use parking that doesn't negatively impact, right? Okay. I don't know if it's feasible. It's that parking lot across from me packed all day long. You guys know? Plus or minus, I mean, yeah. I mean, because we'd be talking basically, like, the thing is, you're talking about patient usage of bumping it up to 78, right? And that's your primary goal is if you can get to 78 parking spots for a patient, right? So you'd have to come up with basically 50 spots, 40 spots, 50 spots for staff. That's a lot of spots. I don't see absorbing those spots anywhere else. without shuttle bus.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree with you. But you,
I know it was.
All right, before you go getting bids on stuff.
Yeah, well, I mean, a shuttle bus is cheaper than
Or the
the,
shuttle bus company.
I mean, how long can you run a shuttle bus for the cost of the project? I'm not making eye contact with the applicant behind me, by the way.
Switch seats.
Nah, I think I'll get over here. What do you guys think? Can we think of any talk about shuttle as a joke? Talked about other offsite parking ideas.
It just seems like, from what Mike said, that parking's already at a premium anyway.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, you've done a lot of deliveries into that spot during the daytime.
Delivering if there's something developed the whole area in it, yeah. I mean, even if you try to go across the street, Cerebral Palsy or whatever, they're all full. I mean,
Yeah.
we were just up there in the last 2 weeks a couple times, and you just usually just park in front of the entryway and go in.
And run
to get
in,
your stuff,
yeah.
You know,
Yeah, we can't absorb 50 spots. So.
yeah.
Okay. Cool. Anything else in question 2, guys? All right, question 3, whether requested variance is substantial. Which is our favorite question, because what is substantial? All right, the applicant, the request for the increase in impervious coverage is only substantial in relation to the newly imposed requirements. It is not in violation of the previous zoning when the master plan was studied as a related concept. The limitation on commercial sites to 35% impervious is an unusual limit for this type of land use and does not enhance use density, which also a significant aspect of sustainable design. Okay. Imperviousness from 62%, we're talking about a 62% to a 70% impervious surface on a commercial site. There's some green around the edges. Are green pavers feasible? We've been through this game before, haven't
Yeah,
we?
we have.
Done this dance.
I wasn't involved in any of the rezoning laws,
Mm-hmm.
but for some reason they went from,
From 100% to 35%, right?
yeah. I mean, that's a big
Yeah.
increase.
So
And I don't know what, if I had an idea why they did, that would help.
I don't remember off the top of my head exactly why we chose that number. I think it was based on a consultant's input on that percentage. And we were thinking about, I think a lot of times I was thinking about new build, right? And we wanted to maintain characters of neighborhoods with enough green space around them. So we did not end up with buildings stacked on top of each other, all paved.
Yeah.
Without planning in the green space. The zoning, I think, the conversation was mostly around newer development as opposed to modification of existing development. Right? Tim, you don't remember anything different than that, do you? That was a while ago for us.
I wasn't there for the entire.
Oh, you weren't there.
I was in part of the transition.
Yeah,
But,
okay.
I don't recall, like, a lot of these impervious services are kind of a surprise to me too.
Yeah.
And I was kind of stunned at how dramatic the difference is.
Yeah. That's fair.
It's a 13% increase from what's there now,
13%.
62 to 70.
What's the total square footage of the increase? I tried to scale it off with the exception of the oblong shapes. And I got like some 7,277.5.
Oh, 13. Oh, 13. Okay, yeah. So, right, because of the lot size.
Right.
The length of that is about 200 feet, 205 feet is what I think. In my notes off to the left.
Okay. Yep. That's the 36. Okay.
And the new pavement area is about 7,600 square feet. And the existing pavement is about 61,000 square feet.
What do you think? Substantial? I'm not sure on definition of substantial.
Yeah, it's
I-
objective.
I, um, I, in this case, I mean, 13% increase, I mean, 7,600 square feet on 61,000 square feet. I think that's what he said.
Yeah.
Based on location, I don't feel like it's substantial.
I mean, if it were gonna double the size of
Yeah.
the parking lot,
Right.
that would-
It's
I
going,
would
yeah,
say it would be,
I mean,
substantial.
in comparison to what's there now versus what they're adding, it's.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think it's substantial.
No.
Okay. 4, would the variance have an adverse impact on the physical and environmental conditions in the neighborhood? Physical, environmental, normally stormwater runoff, light conditions.
It seems like
They've
they
addressed
addressed the
that.
runoff already.
Yeah.
To this note,
What's your note? Stormwater management.
it's not triggered until you disturb a half an acre.
And how much are we disturbing?
7,000 and, yeah. And
And how many square feet is an acre?
like 21.
Okay, so we're under that. So we're a third of an acre.
So you're like, that's why I put that note in there and that's why I did those calculations.
Thank you. Yeah. So stormwater management is not activated in this situation. Lighting, lighting, noise pollution, environmental runoff. I'm not seeing a huge issue on that one. So I would go, not really. You guys, any thoughts? Okay.
They change. I mean, it's already a parking lot. and they're
Yeah.
Making.
You wonder how many
larger.
people would even notice.
Yeah, I know, yeah, you're exactly right.
Once it's
Somebody's
done.
looking for a parking spot, and there's one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
If they increase their doctor, they don't increase their park spot, then they'll hear.
No,
All right, whether it's self-created, love the self-created question. The thought was the existing conditions were not self-created. The CHCNC has owned the property since the early 1990s, and a lot of record and house has existed since the early 1900s, and has expanded in 2000 to the present bulk and parking area, and continues to perform alterations to the site and building in response to the needs of their patients and the community. As previously noted, master planning for continued growth and the adaptation to providing medical services did not include adding this parking before the zoning requirements were changed. Okay. So I think the argument from the applicant is that it's not self-created because when they were planning this build out decades ago, it wasn't banging into the new zoning.
Right.
But we're in the new zoning area now. Almost every appeal is self-created. Like it's hard to argue, like the not self-created one. I understand the applicant's viewpoint that their master plan was written before the zoning laws changed. But changing zoning laws is not a reason in my book to say that it wasn't our fault. We've dealt with it wasn't, it wasn't our fault for other zoning law changes. Zoning laws change. So, I mean, I also do hear the applicant's viewpoint that 35% is kind of an arbitrarily small number for a commercial site.
Yeah.
So. What do you think about self-creation, Mike?
That's always a tough one.
Oh, I'm gonna guess.
And I mean, they kind of are doing it because they want to do this, but again, well, they're creating it, but if they're not creating it just because they need it, I think is one, you know, you have to take that into consideration.
Mhm.
It's something that, you know, when they don't have a lot of options.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Pete, thoughts?
Yeah, this is always that in the second question there.
Yeah,
These are always the ones I struggle with, you know, because and from their perspective, zoning laws change, but it's not like someone wakes up the next morning and goes, how's this going to impact us down the road?
Right now.
You know, life goes on. So you know, you're looking at, and this is where it's somewhat subjective, and I don't know if this is appropriate, but when you're looking at the service that they're providing and its importance and its need, you know, it's not like, you know, got another pizza place going in or something. I mean, we all know the challenges with healthcare in the North Country, and they're obviously trying to address that.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So it's like, okay, well, we're trying to address a problem. So I guess, you know, that the problem's out there. Somebody created that problem. We're trying to fix it.
So did we self-create it, or we're reacting to the problem?
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Andy, anything to add?
I agree on that one, and, you know, like adding new doctors and new services to the area, you know,
That's a good thing.
Yeah.
it's not a bad thing from my perspective, I guess, so.
Yeah.
I lean in the direction of Pete.
Mm-hmm. Okay, cool. All right, guys, any more thoughts or questions about the five tests? Undesirable change, feasible alternative, request variance substantial, adverse impact on physical, environmental, and difficulty self-created. Anything else on those? Okay, I do want to come back real fast. I know you did not want to hear me say that. To number 2 about the feasible alternatives, mostly because I have Brooks in the room. I'm sure he's looked into these things before. Like parking lot options that are not asphalt. Do any exist that solve that problem?
Yes and no.
Okay.
There are pervious pavements.
Mm-hmm.
We're doing a garden right now. It's in Potsdam as part of their Wiser Research Center. Pervious pavements exist and they make a lot of sense in a lot of places in the country and in the world. They don't work well up here because we snowplow and we got frost. And those two forces make it so that the pervious pavements break up. Frost moves them and plows can't plow across them very well. And in a couple places where we put them, they haven't lasted.
Okay.
The other thing about, and it's fun talking to you guys, the other thing about a lot of these sustainable things, using myself as an example, 12 years ago, I bought some solar panels. Payback was 12 years. The solar panels now are junk. So they're being thrown away. So I didn't make any money, but I tried to do the right thing 12 years ago. And now solar panels are 4 times as efficient. I'm going to get some more. Payback's 8 years now. And if they last longer than 8 years, I'll make money. Pervious pavement is kind of the same thing. The payback period on that sort of thing, the economic benefit is not proportional here. For many reasons, and you guys think a lot about this, which I appreciate. I mean, I'm from here. I mean, I grew up here, but I was in California for 8 years. Water out there is so scarce and so precious, and the aquifers are being pumped so low. The Colorado River that made the Grand Canyon never gets to the Gulf, just there. It's unbelievable. I was just in the Caribbean, they have cisterns under every house to catch the rainwater. I mean, people, the funny thing about sustainable design is 120 years ago, every building on the planet was sustainable because, and had been for thousands of years, because they had no choice. Local materials, harvesting natural resources. Then we started having electricity and, shipping things and burning the fuels that we threw away. It's amazing. So now we're going back to future because the answer to heating a building has nothing to do with mechanical engineer. The answer to light has nothing to do with electrical engineer. Tell me, okay, electrical engineer will get a coffee. It's really interesting to go back to the future that way. This pervious pavement is got the right ideas in places where water is very scarce and you need to keep the aquifers replenished. Like places in Connecticut, the aquifers are going way down because it's all running off. So that's why we always do these retention areas, and we're doing it now, even on this little thing. That water's going to go back into the ground. We always do that now. But up here, we don't have that problem. We got plenty of groundwater. The aquifers aren't fluctuating. And even our runoff is pretty well managed, although it can always be better. We still get a lot of junk in the rivers and things. But the basic reason for the impervious pavements, the premise of that does not exist up here, that the aquifers need replenishing. Coupled with the fact that their economic payback is crummy because the maintenance of them and the initial construction cost. There's no payback for a building over.
Okay. I mean, we encountered the same, we dealt with variance last year where we encountered impervious pavements as well. We got a very similar answer. So
Okay.
basically that's a similar answer in terms of the cost was crazy and we don't have to plow it.
It makes a lot of sense in Arizona and California. It makes a lot of sense.
I think it's fair to talk about it though and raise the point. We'll talk about impervious surfaces. Okay, cool. All right. Thanks, Brooks. All right, do we feel as a board we're ready to move on to the back where we can talk about possibly voting on this? Do you want to table? Do you want to discuss more? You good to vote? All right. So, before the board, basically, we taking consideration the 5 factors we talked about. Okay. The ZBA, after taking consideration of the above 5 factors, finds that the benefit does not outweigh or does outweigh the detriment. So a does outweigh the detriment is basically, it's a yay vote, an aye vote. So we vote for passing it as written. A nay vote is deny it. So aye passes, nay denies. And we can always, after an aye vote, we can always put stipulations on there. We require 12-foot tall roofs or sculptures out of metal. That's what it needs to say. Okay. So.
The recording, it doesn't
It's
matter.
public record now. Public record now. All right. Now, Andy, as an official alternate, you do not get to vote unless someone has a conflict of interest for financial reasons. No. Okay, great. Which is glorious because it's still 3 members, so we don't tie. One of my concerns is we go down to 2 members, then we can tie, and I don't know what happens in that situation. I don't know if you
Overtime.
I think so. I think another variance. All right, great.
Then you gotta have 3 people on each side.
Yeah, right. I can start you, Mike. Aye passes, nay denies.
Aye.
Pete?
Aye.
Great. I am also an aye. Thanks for being a spectator, Andy. Any stipulations, any changes, anything that we feel that we should put into play here in terms of minimum things, any sort of like variations?
It seems like they,
I think it's covered.
Yeah, they
Leave that up to
really-
Tim.
Repeat the question.
Is there anything in here that we feel like we should, one of the questions is basically, we can pass the variance, and is it like we put it like a maximum on the variant, on the change, or we put some parameters around it? Is there anything that is jumping out at you that we didn't think about?
I don't think so.
Okay. All right, cool. All right, so I don't think we're not gonna put conditions on this for minimizing the impact of the neighborhoods. We're gonna basically trust them to build it with the lovely groundwater retention, keep the lights good, not moving the sign, and paving paradise. parking lot. Okay. We good?
I think that ship sailed.
Yeah, I think that comment. Okay, fabulous. Gentlemen, thank you very much. We are all set with you unless you want to hang around and watch the second half. Nope. Are you sure? I mean, it'll be exciting. It's a very intentional series process.
No, it's, I respect that.
I can't tell if you're joking or not.
No, he's saying.
It's the right decision too, because.
If you told me it's the wrong decision, I was gonna be worried.
Yeah.
Per square foot, adding this parking with the existing driveways, the existing aisles and things is a very high percentage of gross parking lot area to net parking space area, because we're using all the existing driveways and aisles and things,
I know.
as opposed to building another whole new parking lot.
Yeah, we're not paving a whole new area. No,
So-
it's the best expansion within the footprint area.
And
So,
that's when we still, the least amount of asphalt to get the most amount of parking. that we need.
oh, good.
Thank you, Jim.
Okay, guys, thanks for being so patient. Okay.
Got it. I know.
You got it? Good.
Good night.
Thank you, good seeing.
You too.
All right, we're on to 80 Riverside. Welcome, guys. And to summarize, is everyone need a break real fast? Or are we good to roll straight through? Audience, you guys riveted over there? Okay. Yeah, I see that. All right. So the application before us for 80 Riverside, well, I lost my packet.
Oh, you got it.
You good with it, Dan?
Yep.
Basically, we're trying to, the applicant would like to convert an existing office in 80 Riverside into a studio apartment. I think that summarizes what they would like to do. And the size of this efficiency studio apartment is below the allowable size in the code of the Village of Canton. Tim, take it away.
Okay. Applicant submitted an application on 3/18/26 to turn a office into a studio apartment at 80 Riverside Drive. I denied it on 4/2/26 due to 325/37B multifamily dwelling floor area. B, minimum living area shall be 480 square feet for an efficiency unit without separate bedroom. Except in section C below for congregate senior residential care facilities, a minimum floor area shall be 300 square feet for each bedroom in a dwelling unit. But that's congregate living. That's just part of the code, and so that's mine. And anybody have any questions about that?
No, I don't. All right. Let's hear what we'll do here is we'll hear from the applicant now to talk about what they're looking for, and then we'll go ahead and hear from any public comment that you want to like to add about anything after the applicant shares what you guys are thinking. Okay, and then we'll continue the conversation after any public comment. Okay. All right.
Hi, everyone. I'm Dylan. This is my father, Clyde. So yeah, so I guess the overall reason, or there's a couple of reasons for, I guess, this application and kind of our desire to want to do this. I guess the first being is it's another opportunity to offer a good, quality housing unit to a prospective tenant in the area. Another one is simply the office itself is no longer being used. There's no real use for it at this point. So at this point, it's just kind of wasted space in a way. The third reason would be as well in New York State property maintenance code of New York State. There's a section in there for 4.6 talking about specifically efficiency units. And it has some stipulations, of course. And for one applicant, the minimum clear floor area shall be 120 square feet for one occupant. And for two occupants, the minimum square foot should be 190. Our estimated square foot of this efficiency would be 191 roughly or so, 191. So based on this New York State code anyway, they would say 19 or it would be good for 2 occupants. So I guess those would be the 3 reasons why we're applying for this area variance and in general for turning this into a studio. We think it'd be, good for a prospective tenant as well, to offer good quality housing. At the end of the day, our business model in general has been to offer good quality housing, about 5 to 10% below market value or below market rents for a given area. And we certainly would intend to continue to do that with this apartment as well.
Maybe a little bit more information, if I may. Some may or may not be familiar with the property, but it's an apartment complex, 3 identical buildings. Each of the buildings are 2 stories. There's anywhere from 16 to 18 apartments in each building, because configurations, boilers, and stuff like that. They run 16 to 18 units, apartments in each of the 3 buildings. This building is building 2 that we're talking about, which is the building that parallels Riverside Drive. And this particular space, again, it was for years, it was an office space. We don't use it anymore. Right now, it's just storage. It's in the middle, right in the middle of the building, on the first floor. All the units in this complex face a courtyard. The doors open into a courtyard, not to the outside or not to the parking lot. They face a courtyard, which is treed and has seating areas and a patio area in the middle. So they all face that. For this space, it's already has a bathroom in it, and it already has some storage closet in it. So our intent was to ask if we could convert it to an efficiency apartment. We do get relatively frequently, we do get applicants for the apartments that, they're students in most cases for the scenario that I'm describing, looking for something on the cheaper end, looking for something on the smaller end. They don't need a 2-bedroom. Most of actually all the other units there are 2 bedrooms. So this would fit the need of some of the applicants that we get that we currently cannot support because they're 2 bedrooms, and of course those are a little bit more on the monthly rent fee. So by adding an efficiency apartment, it would provide that capability and that offering to the village to go along with that. So again, to renovate the space, there would be nothing done to the exterior other than changing the exterior door, which is currently just a glass door that you can see in. It would be changed to match all the rest of the doors, the steel door, safety, locked and everything. And then we would add a shower and a kitchen on the one side.
All right, we'll come back to you guys in a second. Any public comment or questions about the application or about the process or anything like that in public?
Just wanted to see when I got the variance being like, all right, you put anything in my backyard. I have not, you haven't presented anything here. I'm gonna leave now. I'm good.
All right.
Brian, let's go, buddy.
You wasted all the time.
Completely.
Yeah.
No, I had fun. I got to hang out. It was good. Listen, I got a clear roll to home. I'm good. This was better. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
All right.
You have a good night. Take care.
Thanks, guys.
They hear a rant. I was waiting for it.
I know. I'm still 45 minutes and come for something.
Can I add one more thing? There's plenty of parking here. I mean, there's over 50 apartments currently, and there's probably at least 20 extra parking spaces as it is. So if we rented this for one additional student or one additional tenant, one vehicle, and change that anyway for traffic or extra going in and out.
Okay. Couple more questions about the current buildings. All right. Every apartment is a single entrance or double entrance?
Every apartment is a single entrance.
Okay. Would you try? One of my concerns, of course, is trying to cut those in half into 2 efficiencies or something like that. If you pass a variance for an efficiency, right? I mean, like,
Yeah,
well,
yeah, sure.
I mean,
Right. Yeah. So I get where you're going. Yeah.
yeah, I mean,
Okay.
ZBAs live at the edge, right? And so when you get applicants, you want to get a feel for what what happens down the road,
Sure, okay.
right? Okay, so they're all single entrances right now, so we'd be
That's
dealing with fire code violations if we started to cut these in half, which is good. Okay, like that's a concern.
Yeah.
Valid,
What's that?
valid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's only a single office for the entire complex right now, or the multiple offices. There's only that one office, and this has been unused by. My understanding is you guys are relatively recent purchasers of the property. Like with
That's correct.
well, relatively recent up here sometimes is 30 years.
Oh,
So,
okay.
Right, Mike. So like
I
last
don't want
5
to
years.
age myself.
Yeah, it's been less than a year.
Oh, okay, great. So you guys are still getting used to the property. I mean, there's certain evaluations I'm sure you took ahead of time, but I'm sure there's certain
Yeah.
things that you're learning too. Okay, so you're not using the office. Was the office in continued use as an office until you purchased it?
It's storage right now. We don't.
It's been storage when you purchased it. It's been storage since.
So when the previous owner came back into town, I think he was from Oregon or something like that. When he came back into town, the previous owner did use it.
Oh, okay.
It's been an office for, since the building.
It's built as an office.
Yeah. Numerous, Sabads have owned it, I don't know how long, but
That was bad.
it was part of the SUNY Canton system.
Okay.
I think if you look back at the history of the property, New York State
Built.
is an owner at one point.
Okay. Cool.
Okay.
Didn't you guys find that in your record?
No.
Okay.
I'll give it up to the attorney. He can bring that up.
Okay. Awesome. Any other general questions, guys, for the applicants before we start talking about tests?
The 480 square feet,
Let's talk about that one, yeah.
how long has that been in play?
Our code, 21.
Okay,
That's the new code.
okay.
Yeah.
What was it before?
I looked, I couldn't find anything. Efficiency apartment didn't even
exist.
Did you look?
I didn't look, but I don't remember it being something that existed.
I opened up the big blue book there and
There was nothing.
I couldn't find anything in the index either.
So was
We didn't.
480 was comparable to Potsdam or anybody else? I mean, just wonder how the 480.
I suspect that was what was it? What is on ADUs? Do we have ADUs? Accessory dwelling units.
I think there's 700, but
Yeah, they're bigger.
Double check that.
I think we came down to something that was smaller than an accessory dwelling unit. That was like, and I think we thought about space wise and like what's reasonable for one person, what's a two person. Then we came up with a number. I believe but like that sort of thing, that level of detail, I don't think is ever raised to a conversation point.
Yeah.
Right. Sometimes these numbers come across, you're like, that seems reasonable for one.
Yeah. And because it's a big difference between our code and New York State.
Right.
Is New York State maybe being more influenced by New York City, downstate?
Population density?
Yeah.
Probably.
And this code has been in existence for a long time.
New York State.
Yeah.
Right. So for us to adopt a more strict code, normally we have to go through a process. So we suspect that the attorneys and the consultant went through the process to adopt the more stringent
Versus the
space.
state.
Right.
Okay.
But we don't have that documentation right now. Okay. Yeah, it's kind of it's interesting that we're that far off from where the state was.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't have an answer on that per se.
One additional thing I think just made me think of, Tim, I think Blake had us reach out, or somebody reached out to the county.
Mhm.
And the county deferred back to here. They reviewed.
Oh, right.
Deferred back. I don't know, it's a big deal, a little deal, but they
It's-
said, yeah, we don't need to.
Oh, let me tell you about that. So basically, so if you're within a certain distance of any state highway around here or county highway, you have to have the county refer in. Now you have to understand that almost every single property in our village is within a certain distance of those highways.
Yeah.
So
Actually, in this case,
what's this one?
this was 500 feet. If you're within 500 feet of a municipality, another municipality, which is town of Canton.
Oh,
And
that's right.
also, according to Matilda, it was 3 strikes.
Okay.
It was, the municipality,
Yep.
the Grass River,
Yep.
and also that had something to do with a public building like the firehouse.
So that's what it was.
So
So it
that's
wasn't-
why you had to get
Okay.
reviewed by the St. Lawrence County.
Am I normal or not?
Oh, yeah.
It is normal.
Yeah,
And Conrad pointed out, like, if you were on a state highway, that would be the same thing. Like, the one we just reviewed had to get the same review
Oh.
because
Yeah.
they're on Route 11.
Yeah,
So-
so we get those all the time.
Yeah.
The
And
county,
that's standard operating procedure throughout all the municipalities in St. Lawrence County.
Yeah.
It's municipal law. 239.
there you go. Okay, that, now you know.
239.
239M apparently from over here.
Thank you.
Mhm. Little sassy M. All right,
Too much fun here.
I'll try to make it more boring.
It's like,
for you next
knock it off.
Focus.
I'm usually asleep by now.
That's true. I know. I'm gonna try to put you to sleep by now. We're gonna cover sign next.
Signage is what you say.
And not an EMC.
You're not an EMC, just a sign.
Because
All right.
those are too flashy.
Those are too flashy. Keep going. All right. So let's talk through the tests. Okay. Unless you have anything else. All right. 5 tests. Number 1, whether an undesirable change will be produced in the character of the neighborhood or detriment to nearby properties. The applicant states this variance would not change the exterior structure of the building. We're not adding anything. We're not changing anything. We are basically being a benefit to the community because we have another rental unit that's an efficiency unit, although we are changing the door.
Yeah, you will.
Yeah, well.
Do most of the other apartments, the full size one, double occupancy, like 2 people or?
Typically, yeah, because they're 2 bedroom.
Yeah, 2. I remember when I lived there, and again, that was a long time, there was 4, 2 in each bedroom.
Oh,
Really?
They made a lot more money. Well, they did.
The cops were
I paid $400 for a semester with it, with everything included.
Wow.
I mean, I'd move back in if it was that. I would take the studio. But yeah, I thought, so. You got 2 people living in, they're basically living in half, 2 people living in double that, so you're putting 1 in.
And
Yeah.
half the size.
So how many square feet are the doubles?
I believe they're about 550, 600
Yeah,
or
they're around 550. They vary a little bit each.
so.
And so it's not like it's not like this office is half the size of a double. It's slightly smaller than half the size of a double.
It is, I would say, yeah.
I would probably say so.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Thanks.
I guess I would like to clarify as well. Father mentioned the door. Obviously, for the shower, we would need to have some sort of exhaust system,
Mm-hmm.
and so there would likely be like some sort of punch out, likely as well, to add an exhaust fan. So that's one change I would like to point out. And
Yeah.
just for clear.
Yeah.
We've got back to the exterior, the
Yeah.
backside,
Yeah.
because you got plenty of room in the back.
Yeah.
Basically, probably facing here.
Okay. Well, thanks for bringing that up.
Did you guys see the floor plan?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yes.
And the bathroom is already there. It's been there.
Right.
Not going to say.
But you put the dimensions in.
Yeah.
That's what.
We didn't hire Brooke. Oh, wow. Oh.
Yeah. Well, it's different scale.
There's apartments on both sides, so you have to rent out.
So
No.
actually, right here on this side, there's like a large hallway. It goes back, there's actually the door out here to the front, or the back side of the building,
Yeah.
and the door right here. The large hallway right here, and the boiler room.
Yeah, that's the boiler room. Okay.
More or less,
And then to the left is another apartment.
Over here.
yeah.
But to the right is the
That's-
hallway that leads separately back into the boiler room.
Yeah.
So boiler room's like cut out.
No, the boiler room's still there. right?
Yeah. Do you still use the boiler room?
Well, for like
Oh, yeah.
systems and.
Okay, but still, it's a functional boiler room.
Yeah.
Okay, just square footage. The benefit cannot be achieved by some other feasible method does not require a variance. The benefits being a new apartment in the existing shape. I'm not sure I can see different way to put an apartment in an existing office without putting an apartment in an existing
Yeah.
office.
Yeah.
Okay,
The apartment's basically right about there.
Yeah, okay. And there's a hallway
Yeah,
that runs front to back, somewhere in there.
all these apartments have this. It's like a walkway, right?
Yeah.
That runs.
Yeah.
So the apartments can be like right here.
yep, okay.
And the entrance is from the courtyard. Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you park over here and come into the courtyard, okay, walk down, right there. Okay, cool.
All right.
Do you know our requirement for parking places? For the complex, is there do we have a requirement for the number of spots per unit?
It's 325/55. I'll get that for you. Well, it's,
When we deal with that.
for this one, it'd be about 1.5
Yeah.
Believe it or not,
it's
yeah.
0.5
Yeah,
per
1.5.
per,
That's what I thought.
per dwelling unit.
dwelling unit, yeah.
So I did not extra work my spots, so how many spots are there? 325.
55.
Thank you. Not the flags.
No, you said parking. That's-
Oh,
They've been
Yeah.
full since
That's-
since we took over, and there's usually maybe 70% full at like its max.
There's motor vehicle off-street parking.
What are we considered? Multifamily dwelling?
Exactly, 2 family and multifamily dwellings, the second one down, 1.5 per dwelling unit. That's Schedule D of the minimum parking space requirement.
Your apartment, you have to have 1 point per
75 spots.
apartment.
50
1.5.
units, 75 spots.
Yeah.
So you,
I don't know how many are there.
More than
Yeah, I'm 175.
16 to 18 per unit, 3 units.
Right.
Yeah.
so if they add one,
Roughly 60 apartments.
It's 51 apartments as it stands.
And the parking lots, L-shaped, those.
yeah, I'll show you that image again.
Okay. All right, question 3, requested area variance is not substantial.
Give the definitions. Yeah, tell me one more time. That'd be great.
Sure. Substantial is, so,
Thank you.
oh, you're welcome. Does that clarify things for you?
The definition is substantial.
Right, it's substantial. Applicant says this is correct. Simplest way to add an apartment without changing the exterior structure or adding a structure. We would like to turn an existing office in the middle of an apartment building into a studio by adding a shower and a small kitchenette and venting and a new door. The area variance under discussion is the 480 square feet to the 191 square feet. That's what is under discussion for substantial variance discussion. So half of 480 is 240, which is still greater than 191. So we're less than half the size of our allowable square footage in this situation. What do you guys think? I mean, substantial is, we always talk about substantial. I mean, the thing is that a lot of times as a board, we do discuss these things and we like to, we discuss, we agree that they're substantial, so once we pass them anyhow. Like, we're not bound. If we think it is substantial, we can still vote that the benefit outweighs the detriment. Like, these are all fine things. The other thing is that variances are tied to a single site. They are not, they don't propagate through. If we decide on an area variance for a single site, it's not saying that every single studio apartment that appears now has a minimum of 191 square feet.
Mhm.
It's still 480 in the code. It's still written as code. It is site specific for any sort of variance. But back to substantialness.
I'm right, in the word, in the context of this, it's substantial relative to the code and square footage, not relative to the additional 1 unit in a 50-unit complex or additional 1 new car in a lot that
Nope.
has 75 spots.
It is just the square
Just the
footage.
square footage.
Because it's denied on square footage.
Yeah.
The thing before us is the square footage of the apartment,
Yeah.
not the normal parkings, not the drainage, nothing else. It's just straight square footage of a studio apartment.
Seems significantly less than the code.
Yeah,
But we can argue whether the code's right or wrong, or the
Right.
state is different, but it seems like it's a pretty big difference from the code.
That's kind of where I
Between the
am.
New York State code.
No, between our code.
our
and their
code
code
and
request.
the request.
Yeah,
Those are-
absolutely, yeah.
And that's got
190 and
480.
It's a
That's quite a bit.
Yeah.
90 square
Somewhat.
feet.
I mean, yeah, exactly. The debate about the New York State code, the applicant brought that up and saying, New York State code's less, smaller footage, but like from our code perspective, looking at it, substantial versus not, I'm hearing from the board that basically we're feeling that it is a substantial variance. Does that reflect what you guys are thinking?
Mhm.
Yeah. The proposed variance, which is just the change of square footage of the studio apartment, would not have an adverse effect or impact on the physical or environmental conditions in the neighborhood or district. The applicant says there's no changes to the exterior. It doesn't change anything. It's not going to impact the environmental or physical conditions. I would agree with the applicant that there's no adverse impact on the environmental conditions.
Yeah.
The alleged difficulty was not self-created. Now, self-creation. This is basically, did something change on the applicant that caused this problem? Was there something outside of their control that created this situation? Was there they have a property and a law went into play and impacted it in such a way? Did a force of nature happen? Or is this a change that they're requesting because they would like to do something different? If it's something they're requesting because they would like to do something different, then it's self-created. The applicant does say on their application, we try to keep the difficulty level as low as possible so it does not change the property, look and feel, and does not impact the current residents. Okay. Thoughts?
I agree with him. As far as change, nothing. I mean, probably 15% of the people in St. Lawrence County would just did it and not said anything because who's gonna know? You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So yeah, I don't think as far as changing anything, you go walk by, probably people walking by aren't even gonna know, that live, left to see the construction, but
Well,
There's been a
Andy
change.
runs by, you may notice in the door.
I think, Pete.
Well, yeah, everything you said is spot on, but I don't think that gets to the essence of the question in terms of, self-created. I mean, they have unused space that they want to use for a different purpose. So,
yeah, I guess it's kind of self-graded because it doesn't fit into the code. I mean, if it was, they're gonna use the 190 or whatever, the 240, we're supposed to Our code says they have.
480 even.
480.
480, okay, well, for efficiency.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But it's saying that I guess they're self-creating that because they want to do it in this space to a point, you know.
mhm,
I mean, that's the space they have to work with.
right.
So I don't know, it's hard to say. In that aspect, because they want to do it, that's not meeting code. That's because I'm saying they are kind of self-grading that.
Yeah,
I mean, they don't, you know, and I can see why they're doing it. They're businessmen. They're trying to.
right. They've got a new space,
Yeah.
you know, they don't need an office anymore. Maybe we can make this into an efficiency apartment.
And at the same time, I'd say it was self-created.
Yeah.
And we understand the application. We understand why.
Right.
Okay. And we see why they're before us too.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
like that's
That's a great question.
like, I don't think any of us are unreasonable in terms of understanding why we're all here. Okay. Mostly because what else are we gonna do on Wednesday night? All right. Right, Mike?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm up. All right. Guys, any questions or further statements or thoughts about anything before we talk about voting or anything like that among the board?
No,
That's- Applicants, you guys, any questions for anything so far? I'm okay. It's a zoning variance. Have you guys done one of these before?
No, this is the first time doing anything like this.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. All right.
All right.
All right. Live and learn, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
You're a pretty good shopper, to be honest.
Right? You throw square feet for the shower?
It's quite, it's a big spot there, but currently, but yes.
Maybe a double block it. Yeah, all right.
It's impressive use of space.
Focus.
Wow.
I'm looking at the diagram.
Love it.
32 square feet. I'm a little jealous.
Yeah, I mean, too.
Covers 2 by 2, but it's like 4.
It's an efficiency with a spa.
The rainwater systems, everything. All right.
Most of your bathrooms are pretty standard, like tub shower, as I recall. Because I've inspected these this year.
Yeah.
Standard vanity and toilet.
Exactly.
So this, I would say this is the deluxe shower set.
Yeah. Pretty efficiency.
Come in the door. It looks a little small. Wait till you see the shower.
Yeah.
You're not gonna wanna come out. You're gonna shower, have dinner in there.
I
It's gonna
know.
be awesome.
I'm gonna put my dining room table in the shower.
Seinfeld
Hold
once,
down.
you're just preparing his meals in the shower.
Steam your vegetables
Yeah.
while you wash up for dinner.
Sorry, guys, off topic there, Conrad. I'll take
Chalk it.
I'll take
Take the hit on that one. All right. Good to know.
Good statement, that is hard.
Okay. All right. So, here we are. We've now looked at our 5 tasks. I think we can go into are we okay with a voting process at this stage? Yeah?
I am.
Okay. All right. To recap what we looked at so far, we had 5 legal tests we have to consider before we vote. Okay. 1 was whether there's undesirable change reproduced in the character of the neighborhood. This one was relatively easy for the board to discuss. We came up with nope. Okay. We discussed that one a long time. 2, whether benefits sought by the applicant could be achieved by some other feasible alternative. I think that we agree to the board. We're like, no, pretty much it's an apartment that pre-exists and we're hoping to turn to an efficiency. It's just too small according to the code. The feasible alternative would be blowing out the walls, which change the whole structure of the system, and that's just not feasible to expand the footprint outside of the existing structure. Okay. 3, whether requested variance is substantial. The board discussed this one. We focused in on the 480 versus 191, and we felt as a board that it was a substantial variance to the existing code. Okay, to go from the 480 feet down to the 191 feet. Okay. 4th question was whether the variance, this smaller apartment, would have an adverse impact on physical and environmental conditions in the neighborhood. We felt that it would not have an environmental impact. Okay. And then finally, we discussed the self-creation of the need for this variance. Bought a building, has an office. Office is too small for an efficiency unit, but we'd like to put it in. Okay. And we felt like that is a self-created situation because that's kind of how self-creation works with variance situations. Okay. And again, these are all New York State driven questions for variance. Okay. These are not municipalities. These are New York State stuff. Okay. All right. So now we take into consideration those 5 factors, and then we can either pass the variance or deny the variance. Okay. And then we can also discuss whether we want to put other things in to minimize the impact of the neighborhood or the community if we decide to allow this. Okay. All right. So the ZBA, so a aye vote says basically we feel like the benefit to the applicant outweighs the detriment to the neighborhood and the community. Okay. All right. And a nay vote says we're going to put a pause and not pass this variance. Okay. Since you got to vote first last time, it's now your turn to vote first, Pete.
I vote yes.
Aye for Pete. Mike?
Aye.
For aye. And Conrad is a nay. Ayes have it. 2-1. Andy, you're spectator again.
Perfect.
Yeah, I know you like that role.
I'm perfectly happy playing that role.
Thank you for playing that role. That should helps to have your voice in the conversation, which is great. Okay, so are there any conditions that we want to put into play for health and safety of the neighborhood or the community in terms of fit in this?
Well, I just hope we're not open up can of worms
A variance is a site-specific
for that thing, yeah. But
allowance.
I know, but then people, do you own the other properties at 49?
This is called the sister complex. We own the Westgate Apartments. So
You own those, too.
across from City Canton.
I just.
They are identical.
Yeah. And somebody come back and they see that we allow this, so I'm like, well, you can take these 2 apartments, make them 1 and make 2 apartments out of it and get, and no, I'm not just saying, I just, put something, so I guess, or maybe you said like I just don't want to get a bunch of,
Well, we don't want to set a precedent. That's what you're
Yes.
trying to say.
Yeah.
We don't want to set a precedent for efficiency units in the town of Canton, in the village of Canton, saying that we're now allowing these 190 square foot efficiency units.
Mhm.
We still want 480 square efficiency units. We are allowing a variance for the conversion of an office building or an office in building number 2 at 11 Riverside Drive.
80.
Sorry, 80 to 11. 11's on my brain.
11's later.
11's my next one.
11 would be in the old Napa building.
Yeah, wait for that one. Yeah.
Yep.
Stand by.
Would the variance allow them to split a bunch of apartments in this same complex in half?
Well, that's what I'm trying to get at.
I realize it's site specific. Is it unit specific or all 3 of those buildings included in this variance? And you talked about the door thing earlier, but I just want to be
It
careful.
might be a good
That's-
condition.
Well, that's what I'm thinking.
I think we should put a condition on here talking about this single unit.
That's
And-
our intention is this and not have every single unit
Yeah,
that become
yeah,
2 units.
To get,
And they're all 200 square feet.
Do you have a number for this unit yet?
Sorry, what do you mean? The number,
Unit 6.
What?
you're talking about like a unit number?
Yeah.
It's already, number 5.
Number 5.
It already has an address, so to speak.
All right.
Okay. I think
Just make it specific to number 5.
to number 5. It's definitely number 5, Bill.
Building 2. specific.
Building
2-5.
Okay, thank you.
Is that fair?
I think it's
Is that
very,
clear?
I think it's very
I'm
fair.
not voting on the issue, but
But I think,
I share the same concern that others have shared.
I mean, I brought that up in the beginning.
Yeah.
I
Yeah, you
mean,
make a valid point about
was cutting it in half
Yeah.
and then running a second entrance, and all of a sudden you now have 2
It's
units.
50 units or 100 units instead of 50 units.
We'll bang the parking issues and fire issues, but other than that. Because
fire department across the street.
Yeah, oh, and response time should be okay. They can run the hose right over.
If they're there,
Yeah, if it, well, that's they get there first and then run the hose over.
yeah,
Um,
EMS will come over.
Okay. All right, so this is a variance. We're allowing this variance for this small efficiency unit at number 5, building 2, number 5.
Yeah.
At 80 Riverside. Very specific conditions on that, and we'll go from there. Right? Okay. All right.
That still meets your needs, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's no other offices in the building 3 or building 1, right? I won't do another variance.
No.
And you guys come back and watch this game again. All right, great. All right, thank you very much. We're all set with that variance. There is one thing for the board to talk about. I have an item I just need to bring up about next meetings. But you guys are all set. You're good to go. Are you guys driving back tonight?
And yeah.
Yeah, it was nice meeting you in
Process
person.
and knowing what to
Yeah,
do.
good meeting. Thank
Yeah,
you.
like,
Thank you.
Thank you.
Take care, guys.
Take care, guys.
Appreciate it very much.
Thank you. Clifton Park.
Clifton Park. That's you do, there you are. All right, so we have, before the ZBA, we have an item coming up that's gonna be for 11 Riverside Drive. Okay,
Really?
dead serious.
And we just said.
Yeah, that's why.
That's why you.
That's why you got 11 on the brain.
Because I've been doing emails with Tim about 11 Riverside Drive and texting. The May meeting I cannot do. I can't, I'm actually out of track, I think. Because it's the 4th Wednesday.
Are you talking about berries?
Barry has to have Barry's meeting, right?
Okay, gotcha,
If we pursue the ZBA meeting, I can't run in May.
gotcha.
So I would like to get a date on the calendar. So if we do pursue the ZBA side in parallel to, this is a thing that might run parallel to ZBA for an area variance on top of a site plan review that's happening for the site. So we're trying the possibility of running them in conjunction, so that if they,
Meeting together with.
well, not even with them, but basically so that if they go through the process, they're not like stacking and waiting for months to get through the whole process.
Right.
Because basically they're gonna hit us with whatever site plan they have, they're gonna have a need in their variance if they want to pursue it. Okay, based on the lot. I mean, it's an offset requirement for the river.
Planning board's is gonna do a conceptual review. It's gonna be non-binding.
This
It'll
is
be
the old Napa building, not the new one.
the old Napa
The old map.
on Riverside Drive.
And Pikes.
And Pikes,
Right,
right?
Lakes. They wanted to
Yeah.
take, the original plan was to take those 2 buildings and convert that into a fitness center. And with something, at first there was apartments upstairs, and then they were gonna incorporate another portion of the fitness center upstairs.
Right, yeah, so they're looking at ideas, they're working on it.
Good.
So,
And then it got too expensive. I mean, even with the grant money, and mostly because the Napa building is just kind of falling into the river. It's not falling into the river, but it's just,
It's ready.
it's really hurting. So the cost to renovate that was, the cost was escalating. So they decided to demolish and rebuild 1-story all the way to the right of that lot. You know where Pikes has that fenced in area?
Parking lot type thing.
So that building would just abut to that. And the situation is the waterfront overlay has
50 foot.
a limit on a 50-foot setback to the river.
You can't build there without a variance.
So it's kind of tricky.
I just want to know, where's my mechanic going?
So you're not in the same boat?
Everybody's
I
asking.
think we probably all have the same problem
All
there.
4 of us on the same boat with that one, and I'm a
Barry's
little nervous
asking
about going
the
to
same
ask Bobby about that, because I might end up with a 45-minute conversation about something that's,
Well, yeah, I figured, knowing him, he'll bring it up when he wants to.
oh, and he's ready to, yeah.
Can you just text him?
No,
Yeah.
I could probably.
So you're suggesting moving,
I need to move off that Wednesday, basically.
what day do we have now?
Are we still on a
It would
standing?
normally be the last, pretty much the last Wednesday.
Right, it'd be
Of
the
the
20
month?
it's normally the 27th. It'd be the 27th of May, which we
Yeah.
can't do. And Jenny's out on Tuesdays.
Yep.
Like basically that whole week for me, Memorial Day week is shot for me.
Yeah.
We could move it earlier, like to 20th. But I'm not a huge fan of that because I'm not sure we'd be ready to talk about it by
Did you
then.
say
The
Tuesday?
Site, I can't do Tuesdays.
I can't do Tuesdays either.
Right.
Good, Tuesdays are out.
The site plan review is looking currently at the week of probably May 11th, sometime in that week, or May 18th, but he's waiting for people to get back to him.
Yeah, I responded.
Well, what do you guys think about the possibility of the 20th, Wednesday the 20th? Because we could do the ZBA. Does that work for you, Andy?
May 20th. There's a village board meeting that night, so we would have to meet in the courtroom. And I don't know if Tim would be available because you would be at the village board meeting.
True.
Okay.
But Bill, well, yeah, because you guys usually run at 7, but this village is 6:30.
6:30.
It'd be kind of tight.
That's fine. I'm pretty swamped until through that anyhow. I'm not in a huge rush for that. How about May 10th? Sorry, June 10th.
June 10th?
June 10th. Still in town?
Yeah, well, right now my schedule's flexible there.
It works for me.
I'm available.
Hang on.
Like we normally have a scheduled meeting
Oh, wait a minute.
the 24th, but it's just 2 weeks earlier than our regular June meeting. But if we just hold
Hold
it
on.
then, like to be honest, May.
Oh, no, that's the end of June at my vacation.
Like May for me is I'm swamped in May. I'm like
I can't do the 10th.
you can't do the 10th.
Sorry.
What
It's
about
the only Wednesday I can't do.
is Thursday bad for people?
No, I can do Thursday.
What about the 11th?
Works for
June
me.
11th is fine for me.
Oh, wait a minute.
What month we talking?
June.
Thursday, June 11th.
Mm-hmm.
Andy?
Yeah, the 10th is actually hard for me, but the 11th does work.
Great.
Only thing I have is pro
I think I
hazard
get
to
back
do
on
that day.
What's that?
I think I get back in town.
Yes, I
Yes,
want that back from you by that day. Yes.
Oh, I know.
Or actually, I want it back by
I know.
Monday.
I know.
Let's tentatively put that onto our calendars, guys, for Thursday, June 11th.
Okay.
Okay.
Perfect.
7 p.m. It's probably gonna be an area variance for 11 and 11.5 Riverside.
Okay.
Okay.
So what are they gonna tear the Napa building down and that'll become parking? And then Pikes and
Yeah,
They
they're
might have,
well,
Are they, no, the other adjoining properties doing that and the liquor store, so stuff for sale or somebody
Yeah.
doing that?
Yes.
Don O'Neill owns that property
Yeah, he still owns that.
between Pikes
and
and a liquor store, and he also owns a lot across the street.
he wants a lot. Yeah.
One bell,
Yeah.
Twin Bells and
Yeah.
At least it's empty right now.
Can't Tire.
Okay.
Well, they're not gonna buy that and use that type thing.
I think they'd like to,
Not
but
at this point.
it was too costly.
I the price is pretty steep.
Yeah. Well, it is a commercial district. It's on the water and they got parking across the street, so I think it's got some value.
Well, I don't,
yeah.
Okay.
Alright, put that on the calendar. I will get the room booked tomorrow.
Thank you, Jen.
Absolutely. And as soon as we
Anything
get
else?
stuff, we'll go from there.
All right. Thank you very much, guys.
All right.
We're good. Thanks.
Okay.
Thanks for help, guys.
Yep.
39.
All right.
8:39. Nice try.
It's about 45 minutes normally for each hearing.
Yeah.
And that's pretty standard for us. Mostly because I talk for 42 of it.
Close.
You want to flip Pete?
I am on foot. You?
Yeah.
All right. Back on with you.
Sure.
All right.
Yes.
Have a good night.
Good night.
Night, guys.
Good night, guys.
I couldn't keep up with either one of them.